When we think about 1/3 of young people in this country do not graduate from high school. 50% of all young people of color do not graduate from high school, ever. It's really hard to think about that. Of those who drop out, there's a really high risk of incarceration. 75% of state prison inmates and 59% of federal inmates did not finish high school. We absolutely have to do a better job with our young people, for our young people, collectively organizing around our young people. And I believe that you all have one of the keys to making that happen. I believe that collectively we could make a dent in that huge, huge problem. Certainly it's a moral problem, it's an ethical problem, it's an economic development problem. It's a huge challenge to our country to have young people who are not productively engaged, and we can make a difference there. Let's see, I'll skip over. We have a really significant amount of activity going on around the country. We have a core to career program model that has been enhanced in recent years to have supports and services that are specifically designed for supporting young people who've been incarcerated or otherwise court involved. That project is called the Civic Justice Corps. It's in place in 21 communities around the country, and some really exciting things are happening there. The transformative nature of the engagement in corps is remarkable, and Juan told me that 2 of his sisters were in the California Conservation Corps, in the Los Angeles Conservation Corps, and I appreciated that. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good thing. One of our projects currently underway is called Green Pathways to Post-Secondary Success. That project is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and it actually has been a research project, and before too long, hopefully in June, we'll have a white paper produced that actually gives some detail to those opportunities for our young people, particularly young people who are achieving at very low levels. How do we get on the ramp to achieve the level of employment and productivity that's represented by this new emerging green economy? That paper, a number of people in this room have been stakeholders in that group. It's Green for All and Academy for Educational Development are our partners in leading that work. But if you have not been in that discussion, and Sierra Club has not been, I'm sorry to say, if you haven't been in that discussion and you would like to review that paper before it's released and give us input, we'd be delighted to have you let me know that. If you think back to the CCC of the 30s, you have an idea of how our corps are engaged in the out of doors. Local corps enter into cooperative agreements with public land management agencies, and it's federal, state, and local, and thank you to the Department of Interior. Interior, Agriculture, and EPA are the primary federal agencies that we're engaged with. Miles of trails are established and maintained, invasive species removed, hundreds of acres of land are cleared of brush to mitigate potential fire hazards. Vegetation is reestablished post-fire, and some corps provide base camp support during firefighting efforts. Disaster relief and recovery has been a part of our work long-term, and we sent crews to the Gulf for a long time after Katrina, and we're now organizing and have crews ready to go down and begin working in wildlife refuges in response to the oil spill. Riparian corridors are restored, water quality is enhanced, and in the midst of a myriad of other projects, a gazillion trees have been planted by our corps. The California Conservation Corps state-level program has a backcountry program where young people go in crews into the backcountry and stay for 6 months at a time. Their supplies are trucked in by mule once every 2 weeks. That's out of doors. I had the privilege this week to be part of a reception at Interior where a couple of our corps were recognized, Southwest Conservation Corps and West Virginia Conservation Corps, for leading a project of 200 VISTA members. That's Volunteers in Service to America, AmeriCorps members, who are local coalition builders, and they are active